Mountains cover 13 to 25% of the terrestrial land surface and occur worldwide. Whether shaped by the thickening of the terrestrial crust or by volcanic activities, they are characterized by steep environmental gradients that cause rapid transitions across different climatic conditions and successions of ecosystems. Mountains worldwide have fascinated scientists and explorers for centuries. Mountains are exceptional in many ways, in particular in the extraordinary biological diversity they host. Likely because of the rapid change in climatic and life conditions, exposure, and topography with elevation, they support an estimated 1/3 of terrestrial species diversity. Among those species, many are endemic and found in so-called biodiversity hotspots, of which many are in mountains. Because of their topography, climate, and biodiversity, mountains support a variety of ecosystem services, which is to say, the important contributions from nature that arise from healthy and well-functioning ecosystems. Ecosystem services contribute substantially to the livelihoods of people in the highlands, but also in the surrounding lowlands and far beyond. For example, ecosystems provide clean water, on which over half of humanity depends. Food. Habitats for pollinators, on which some of our most important crops depend. Timber and non-timber products, such as game, berries, medicinal plants, or fuel wood, and the regulation of climate. But mountains also provide services that are somewhat less tangible, such as cultural services in the form of sanctuaries. Mountains are home to almost 1 billion very diverse people. The way mountain peoples use the land has shaped mountain ecosystems over centuries and profoundly influenced mountain landscapes and their biodiversity. Faced with the challenge of food security, many mountain communities have developed resilient production systems. Such production systems typically rely on a rich agrobiodiversity. But climate change, population pressure, and other factors, such as global trade, are putting increased pressure on these fragile social-ecological systems. Mountains are particularly exposed to the impacts of global change. One of the most important changes is in land use, such as the conversion of pristine forest to agricultural land, or the intensification of agricultural practices from subsistence agriculture to large-scale, intense monocultures of cash crops, with the help of pesticides, insecticides, and fertilizers. Over-exploitation of natural resources, such as intensive logging, represents another threat for mountain ecosystems and their populations, notably because of the resulting increased risk of landslides, especially on very steep slopes. In the face of ongoing and irreversible changes, urgent action is needed to safeguard mountains and their people worldwide. The 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development, formulated by the United Nations, provides a powerful framework to achieve a sustainable future. This framework consists of 17 Sustainable Development Goals, SDGs for short, adopted by all United Nations member states in 2015 as a call for action towards safeguarding people and the planet and ensuring peace and prosperity. Presented as indivisible, these goals are, however, not independent from each other.
Saying we are working in this space that's complex in itself because there are many different goals. What makes it even more complex is that those goals interact, right?
Increasing food production or improving infrastructure, for example, often imposes environmental costs. Understanding how and why these goals interact and how to minimize the trade-offs between them is therefore necessary to make progress towards their achievement and to identify knowledge-based opportunities for decision makers. This 4-year international Research for Development project, funded by the Swiss National Science Foundation, investigates whether conserving mountain ecosystems, SDG 15.4, trades off with other development goals in mountain regions. We want to understand how we can address competing sustainable development goals in the context of limited resources and complex governance structures to achieve long-term sustainable development in mountains. The research will be undertaken at 3 different scales: global, national, and subnational. At the global scale, we will acquire data on communities and ecosystems in as many of the world's mountain ranges as possible using online questionnaires. These questionnaires will be based on the conceptual framework adopted by the Intergovernmental Science Policy Platform on Biodiversity and Ecosystem Services. At the subnational and national scale, we will carry out field surveys and participatory workshops in mountain ranges in Tanzania, Nepal, and Bolivia, across gradients in elevation, land use, and governance.
Of course, not all the mountains of a country are the same, neither in natural nor in social cultural respect, and therefore it's good to have different examples, because otherwise, with the selection of your one mountain, you already have somehow biased your study to quite some degree anyway.
A very important element of this project is the inclusion of the knowledge and expertise of local people and stakeholders and the delivery of the project results to them.
Estamos presentes con un grupo de colegas suizos que vamos a iniciar un proyecto sobre biodiversidad de montañas y objetivos de desarrollo sustentable. Y seguramente vamos a estar haciendo varios talleres, acompañamiento a toda la actividad que hace el municipio y las comunidades campesinas que están en este municipio tan importante.
All of this together will make a lot of contribution in understanding the diversity of ecosystem services, the diversity of uses over which different communities in different parts of the world use biodiversity to make their living.
Indigenous Bolivian rituals play a vital role in building team spirit and getting the project off to a good start.
Tonight we ask you to do this quinto that we did now. That is a thank you and a payment for Mother Earth that is receiving now, but you can also ask for yourself and in their desires for your own family, countries and stuff.
Mountains play a vital role in safeguarding cultural and biological diversity. They also provide critical ecosystem services that affect the well-being of billions of people. Identifying paths to sustainable development in mountain regions is crucial for achieving the SDGs globally. By working with mountain communities across 3 continents, this project will hopefully identify promising ways forward.